Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we are talking about the best luxury makeup of 2021. This is going to be extensive. We're going to go head to toe, all the makeup categories. This is going to include skincare, makeup, perfume, makeup brushes, as well as hair care products. And what I will do is in the description box, I will also include timestamps for different categories. So before we go any further, let's take a second to grab our iced coffee or a hot coffee. Let's take a sip and let's get started. As many of you know, I have my online beauty consulting service, which is where you get the chance to talk to me one-on-one about beauty. So if you have makeup in your collection that you're having a bit of difficulty to make work for you, just book a consultation with me and I can help you figure out how to use up what you already own. So to make an appointment, click the link in the description box down below. Okay, so if you have questions about what I'm wearing today, just ask me in the comments section, because in the description box, you have a maximum amount of characters that you can write. So I can't do a full description box like I normally do. So just leave a comment and I'll write like an abbreviated version of the product. I can't do a long-winded description because there's just too much product. So to start, first things first, primer. Now, in today's video, I'm going to have a lot of, in general, I have a lot of items that I like, but these here are my favorites, the best of the best. And that for me is the NARS eyeshadow primer. I cannot live without this primer here. I have to use it every day. I have other eyeshadow primers that I like, but this is the best one. Moving on to eyebrows, this is pretty basic here. This is the Benefit Goof Proof Brow Pencil in the shade number 4, as well as the Precisely My Brow Pencil, also in number 4. So the first one, the Goof Proof, you really can fill in your brow with just this because you do have your spoolie here. And the top part here with the product is a bit thicker and wider. So you can go ahead and just do your whole brow with this. I like to go in with the Precisely My Brow because I'm just that type of extra person. The Precisely My Brow is super fine, super thin. It gives you those hair-like strokes. So if you have like tiny little detail you want to correct, I like to do that. And these ones here, I've repurchased several times. That's why they're in the best of category. And then the last step is the brow gel. This is the Dior Pump and Brow product here. This is in the shade number 002. What I love about this is how incredibly tiny and minuscule the brush is. So you never get any brow gel on your skin. It just fits perfectly along the way, and then you just, set your brow and you're done. So that is the eyebrow category. And it's funny because this is sort of in the order that I do my makeup. I prime first, I do my brows, and then I go into eyeshadow. Fun fact, I can't really move too far to the left or to the right because I'm surrounded by baskets of makeup next to me. So first item here is from Victoria Beckham, and this is the eye brick in Tuxedo. Now, if you want a beautiful matte smoky eye, this is for you. It's cool toned, so if you like a matte cool toned palette, it's gorgeous. Clearly you can do a dark smoky gray, but you can do some of the lighter colors and like a little hint of this here for a more everyday, cool, neutral, matte eyeshadow look. I was a little bit late to the game with Victoria Beckham, but I totally get it. I get the hype. It's so beautiful. I love how sleek and elegant the palette is. It's really 100% worth the hype. So this here is gorgeous and I highly recommend it. Moving on to some Chantecaille. Now I fear that this eyeshadow might be difficult to get. This is the Luminescent Eye Shade in Mare. This came out, I think, 2 years ago. This is part of the Positano collection. I kept the box for some reason. Well, the reason is because you can see a beautiful little beach scene, a beach vacation, and I am all for a beach vacation, so I'm keeping that. This shade is a mermaid fantasy come to light. It gives me like a light seafoam, a light mint blue, mint green, depending on the lighting. It's the exact same Chantecaille luminescent eye shade quality. Now, if you want this, they might still have it online, but I think you might be better off trying to contact a store or different makeup counters because they might be able to get their hands on a couple of these. I think they still exist in the universe, and I love this one so much. I love just like doing a frosty blue eye look with the cold weather. Oh, I just love a themed makeup look, so I love this one. Amazon. Sorry about that. Both packages were for me, so I can't quite complain. Okay, moving on. I have a couple more luminescent eye shades from Chantecaille that I just like really got into this year. Of course, the shade Pangolin will be forever my favorite, but I have a couple others that I don't know, I got kind of obsessed with this year. The first one is Giraffe, and this is just like a beautiful satiny chocolate brown. It's like a burnished brown, and it's a bit more neutral. It's a gorgeous one and done, wrap it around. It's beautiful, but sometimes what I like to do is I use Giraffe and I mix it with Crane, and Crane is like a beautiful smoky cranberry. I think I could describe it as that. Yeah, it's called a smoky burgundy, but it gives me like a rich burgundy cranberry vibe. And so this on its own is gorgeous. Imagine like a deep burgundy plummy smoky eye, and it gives a beautiful mixture somewhere between a chocolate brown and a smoky cranberry. It looks gorgeous. I love it for the holiday season and just for all year round. So these two are on the list this year. Moving on to some Viseart. Now, I believe I bought this at the end of last year around this time. This is the Viseart Petit Four, part of the Petit Four collection. I love myself a small eyeshadow palette. This is no exception. So this one here is called Lila or Lilac. So this is a cool toned dream with a hint of some lilac matte. So you have two mattes and two beautiful shimmers. The shimmers in here are a bit intense, but I love an extra intense eye look. And the mattes here are beautiful, buttery, soft. And again, I love a small palette. Give me a quad over a 12 shadow palette any day. That's just more my style. And I just love it. It's beautiful. I feel like we've really been neglecting a lot of cool toned eyeshadow looks in the past few years. And so anytime I see a beautiful cool toned palette with some beautiful shimmers, it calls my name. I forgot to add something in our Chantecaille category. This is the Butterfly Eye Quartet that came out in the spring of this year. First of all, the packaging, stunning. I love her. But then the eyeshadows themselves are also really beautiful. I love the mixture of finishes. You get satiny, you get iridescent, pearlescent, and of course, being the extra queen that I am, this one here calls my name. It gives a beautiful purple/green yellow shift depending on the light. I love it. I think it's a really beautiful palette. You can do something much softer every day, or if you're like me, you can go in a bit extra. I loved this palette when it came out, and I hope to see more of these styles of shadows from Chantecaille in the future. Speaking of iridescent shifts, I got into Natasha Denona very late in the game. She came out with these chromium liquid shadows a while ago, and I picked up the one called Infra Nude. This is the holographic eyeshadow dream. It gives like green, yellow, red, just the rainbow in just the most beautiful shift. It's a liquid shadow, so I just take it like this and then I swipe it across the eye. I blend with my finger or with a brush. It looks like you have seven different eyeshadows, but you are wearing one. I love that. I love that the most when you just do very little and it looks so much. That's my favorite eyeshadow look ever. And the fact that this is liquid makes it more intense in the holographic shimmer effect. I believe these are limited edition, which I think is such a shame. I love these. I hope they come out with more. I hope they come back because I think that they're fabulous. Now, speaking of liquid shadows, we have one here from Armani, and this is number 9, Cold Copper. This is beautiful. It looks like liquefied light gold. If you want a one and done, just put it here. If you want to do like more intricate colors, like darker over here, and then a swipe in the corner, it is so beautiful. It looks like liquid molten light. So it's just gorgeous. I love this eyeshadow formula. I love the wand too. I love that in the center of the wand, there is a small gap. So you never collect too much product on the applicator. You just get the right amount. I've never had to wipe off excess. So it's just fabulous. It's waterproof. It lasts all day. Fabulous, fabulous product. Since we are talking about liquid shadows, I might as well dive into my Chanel category, which is extensive, of course, as usual. I want to start off here with a liquid shadow from Chanel. This is the one that came out with a fall collection called number 35 Lame Pourpre. This is like liquefied molten cranberry with a swirl of gold. If you like a cranberry eye look, one that's like rich with a hint of burgundy, and again, always with that little beautiful swirl or shift of gold, this is it. These liquid shadows dry down very fast. So you can only do one eye at a time, only one swipe, and then blend. You don't have time to do both. They will dry down in whatever shape you apply, so be wary. But they last all day. They're waterproof. They're budge proof. They're fabulous. I love the shade. I've complained a lot about Chanel coming out with too many red eyeshadows, but if they come out with less red eyeshadows, I appreciate a single cranberry shade every now and then. This I loved so much for fall, but also for the holiday season. You know, when you're wearing like a nice cranberry sweater, sometimes it's fun to match your eyeshadow with it. So this is beautiful. Moving on to some more single eyeshadows from Chanel. We have the cream shadows here. These have been so neglected from Chanel. I hope that they come out with more cream shadows because they're really wonderful. Now this is number 814 Silver Pink. Now it's neither silver nor pink, but it is a beautiful cream natural eyeshadow look. If you want a very simple, very natural one and done cream shadow, this is for you. You could put this on and throw on some mascara and have just like a really beautiful but simple eyeshadow look. I love this here, either on its own or sometimes I will layer it with other neutral tone shadows just to be a little bit more extra. If I do layer it, I will go into Talpa. This is number 14. This is a satin finish and it's also a beautiful, I think this one's a bit more cool tone than Silver Pink, and it's just a beautiful neutral easy one and done shadows. I have used this on its own with some mascara and some liner, but sometimes I do mix it in with a cream shadow. If you're someone who, you know, is maybe intimidated by eyeshadow, get like a neutral single like this. I think you will really appreciate it. Now, the opposite of a neutral single is a flashy single. So on that same note, if you're looking to get into brighter, more fun colors, but you don't want to buy a whole palette, might I recommend this one here. This is number 30 Vibrant Violet. So if you want to get into purple eyeshadow, but you don't want to buy a whole palette because it's intimidating and scary, I get it, get a single like this. This is just the most beautiful purple violet eyeshadow. When it comes to springtime, when you want to match your eyeshadow to the beautiful flower patterns we see everywhere for spring, this is a beautiful shadow. I will use this on its own because it does have more of a satiny finish. It's not matte, so it's going to be easy to use, and then you can just use like maybe a cream shadow just on the inner corner, put on a little bit of liner and mascara, and you have a beautiful purple eyeshadow waiting for you. I believe I bought Vibrant Violet as a form of protest against all the red eyeshadows that we saw from Chanel for 5 years. You know, it'd be spring, red eyeshadow, fall, red eyeshadow. And so I sort of created my own eyeshadow look from what I wanted. Like, I don't want red eyeshadow for spring. I want purple and pink and, you know, those lovely things. Let's continue with Chanel. Now, we do have some new items here from Chanel that are part of the video, but we also have some older classics from the collection that I bought again as a form of protest against the colors that I was seeing. But one of the newer items that I really appreciated is this purple palette. This is number 378, Douceur et Sérénité, which gives me the purple that I want down here with the neutral. There is, of course, a super dark color, like a dark gray for a smoky eye, but personally, I gravitate towards the lighter colors, anytime you see a palette, it doesn't matter if there's 4 colors, 3 colors, whatever, even 19 colors, you do not have to use every single color that's in the palette. Only use 1, 2, maybe even 3 if you're feeling adventurous. Like, you do not have to use everything at once. And so when I go into this, I lean more towards the purples because I bought it for that purple eyeshadow that Chanel has been neglecting for years now. So I go for the purple here. The other new item here from Chanel this year is the No. 5 eyeshadow palette. I kept the box, of course, because it's just so special, so limited edition. This is a take on the classic smoky eye. If you imagine a classic No. 5 bottle, you have like the clear crystal, you have the black and white stamp or logo on the front. The inspiration for the palette was the colors seen in a No. 5 bottle. So the black and the white and the champagne colors. The No. 5 juice or the No. 5 perfume itself is yellow. So we also have inspiration of yellow, light champagne, black, white colors here. This is the inspiration. It isn't, they did not reinvent the wheel with this color story. I don't mind it. I love a classic smoky eye for the holidays, just in general. It's always very chic, very elegant, and you do have different finishes. You have more satiny mattes, more high shine, topper colors. Now, this originally had No. 5 detailing here and then 2 little perfume bottles written there or like stamped in there. This palette has been used since then. It has lost a little bit of its magic, but not really. I mean, makeup is meant to be appreciated and loved, and so I don't really mind that my makeup looks used because it is being used. Now moving on to Blurry Gray. I think this came out 2, possibly even 3 years ago. So this one here is just a more matte, slightly satiny, neutral, cool palette. It doesn't look crazy or fun in the palette, I know. Sometimes the most boring looking items in a palette look the most flattering, and this is one of those. It doesn't look super exciting in the palette, but if you just want like a nice, neutral, cool, everyday, easy look, this is for you. I've used this a lot. Sometimes I use parts of these if I'm doing something else like a smoky eye. I'll dip into one of the lighter colors for transition if I'm doing a more dramatic smoky look. So I've used this in combination with the No. 5 palette because the No. 5 has that super dark black eyeshadow, which is great, but if you want like a little bit of transition color in the crease, this is a great accompaniment to go with No. 5. Now here we have a very classic and such a great item here. This is No. 205 Tissé Vendôme. I don't know why this has been like neglected. This is a beautiful warm toned palette. Now for a moment, let's just ignore the orange color because I know that's a lot of people's hesitation. If you just look at the 3 colors here, these are beautiful. Neutral, slightly warm, light browns. Anyone can wear this. If you're feeling adventurous, you can go ahead and use the peachy color. If not, just pretend it doesn't exist. This formula is like a baked satin, so it's not going to be too sparkly. It's not going to be a chunky glitter. It's just going to look luminous and beautiful. Trust me on this. Tissé Vendôme is waiting for you at the counter. It's one of those items that's lovely to shop in the permanent line because we get pressured to buy new, limited edition, but sometimes items that are in the permanent collection are better. I don't know, they're just like more worth it. They're just, classics that you're going to use every day. And now a classic for me for spring, if I want something very ultra feminine, girly, spring floral, this one here is number 228 Tissé Cambon. This to me is what a spring palette should be. We have the purple, we have the pink, we have like a light ballet slipper, and we have a beautiful, more high shine, satiny, neutral silver shade here. I don't know, like a taupe maybe. It's more of a taupe. But this is spring. I don't know. I can't think of anything else that screams spring colors to me than this here. So you could do something more dark and smoky with this here. You could do something much lighter. You could mix it up with this high shine color. You could do just these two here, there's a lot going on. And so if ever, again, in the spring, you're disappointed with the colors available and you want something more purple and pink, might I suggest Tissé Cambon. All right, now I have a couple of singles. So before I was mentioning using single eyeshadows if you want to try something more intense, but you don't want to buy a whole palette. Same thing goes with Sicily. This is the shade Silky French Blue. That would be my perfect drag name, Silky French Blue. Nice to meet you. This is a satiny, more like high shine blue, like navy blue shadow. If you like the idea of blue eyeshadow, but you're intimidated by a whole palette, try Silky French Blue. The Sicily eyeshadow singles are expensive. Yep, they are. They are worth it. And they have a lot of sales. Friends and family, they had the Black Friday sales. They will certainly have Boxing Day sales. Fill up your cart now and just wait for the 20% off to roll in. Because of the finish, it doesn't look matte, it doesn't look flat, so it will look elevated. It almost looks like you have two colors put together. And what I like to do is just wrap this around my eye, use it as eyeshadow, throw on tons of mascara, and you just get a beautiful blue eyeshadow look. A few of you told me that you picked it up and like it, so I feel like my work is being done trying to convert people to wear blue eyeshadow. However, if blue eyeshadow still is not something that you want to try, might I recommend Sparkling Topaz. This is a beautiful, luminescent, shimmery, coppery chocolate brown. So more in the neutral family, definitely maybe more easy to wear. I mean, I will wear blue eyeshadow everywhere, but I recognize that's not for everyone. So if you want something that's just like a little bit more neutral, yeah, it's like a chocolate brown, very classic. This is a beautiful color, and it's really the finish and the formula. It's satiny and luminous without being a chunky glitter. And something about the luminous finish just makes it look like you just added a light layer of light eyeshadow. It's just really, really beautiful and just very easy to use. Speaking of beautiful and easy to use, I have here the Guerlain Duo Eyeshadow Stick. This is the one that came out in the fall, no, maybe holiday. I apologize, time has melted into one, but this is the one that's a bit more plummy. This is the Mad Eyes Contrast Eyeshadow Duo. You have one side that's a deep plum and one side that's a shiny gold. I believe that is the holiday collection. So the deep plum at first I thought was going to be like a chocolate brown, but it's like a deep plum with a hint of brown. So if you don't want like a super bright violet purple, this is more subdued. You do get purple in there, but it's more natural, it's more subdued, it's more neutral. So this is great. It's a cream shadow stick. So you can go in with the darker color here, put it on the outside. You can use it as eyeliner. Then you go into the shiny gold part and you apply the light color on the inner part of the eye, and you have an eyeshadow look. You just throw on a mascara and you're done. You don't have to think of mixing and matching different colors. You don't have a huge palette that's overwhelming. You have both of the colors you need. I mean, you could just go in with the light champagne if you wanted to, or if you want to do a smoky eye, just do the dark color. It's just really great, and I love these. I hope they keep coming out with more colors. I know for Guerlain, they have a new makeup creative director, Violette FR, which is very exciting. So hopefully in the spring, we will start to see creations that she's contributed to, because it does take a few months for new products to be launched with a new creative director. So I'm excited to see that. Okay, moving on, we have something here from Olivia Palermo. This is the Eau Naturelle eyeshadow palette. So first of all, the packaging is substantial. It's so heavy. This screams luxury. It's so weighty, it's decadent, it's opulent. So if you are buying luxury for part of the packaging, Olivia Palermo does not disappoint. This eyeshadow palette, if we ignore the blue, gives us a beautiful, I want to say natural eyeshadow look with either cool or warm, depending on where you go. You get your mattes, you get your more shimmery colors, you really get a bit of everything. And if you're feeling more adventurous, you can go in with the blue, but you don't have to just because there are 6 colors here does not mean you need to use all 6 at once. If you want to do something more light, go into this one here and this one. That's it. All you have to do, or maybe this one and this one, or just stick to the mattes. It's really up to you. You do not have to use all of them at once, but if you want to, you can. You just do not have to. I just want to keep telling people that, because I think people get confused and overwhelmed. And I think a lot of people have tried this palette here with my recommendation of just like pretend the blue doesn't exist while you're trying to create something more natural. And if you want to wear the blue, go ahead. But this one here, I was really pleasantly surprised with the quality, the blendability, and just the variety of colors. Because at first, it kind of just looks like a normal eyeshadow palette, but you just get a nice variety of cool and warm and neutral and blue, so it's definitely something that I appreciate. Moving on to, I don't know if Dark Horse is the right name. It was just extremely unexpected. Like, I had to be convinced. I kept seeing reviews, positive tutorials, and I was like, okay, fine, I'll give it a try. It's NARS. This is the Climax eyeshadow palette. I believe this came out in the fall. Now again, do not use all 9 at once. You will hate your life. Go in with 2 or 3. So we can see some color categories. We have green. Perfect. Go with the green. We have like the burgundy, cranberry. Go with those 2. We have more neutral ones. Just pick a color family and go with that. We have a blue, of course. So what I've done is kind of go in those categories. I created a really beautiful, dark, matte, vampy look with this in the fall. Of course, classic green shades. We have more neutral colors here. If you want something a bit more shiny, we have some beautiful mattes too. You have blue. It kind of gave me all of the colors of foliage in one. And I am so impressed with the quality. Oh my goodness, even the mattes are so soft and so blendable, so buttery. Like, I am so impressed with this. So I am looking forward to trying more NARS eyeshadow, because this was just outstanding. Like, definitely one of the clear winners of all the makeup that I tried in 2021. This is like one of the best items. I was shocked by how good this is. So I'm so glad that I gave it a try. Now, I cannot, in good conscience, do a best of luxury makeup without mentioning some Dior eyeshadows, specifically Denim. This is the eyeshadow palette for blue eyeshadow lovers. I love it. You get like the more dark navy for a smoky eye. You get this like dark teal green. And then up here, this is the most fun color in the world. It's like this flashy blue, kind of frosty. You have this over here that's like more of a frosty teal. You get a nice, more neutral color here. I love it. I love this palette so much. I love to just go in with this and these 2 and just give like the flashiest, bold eyeshadow. I mean, why not? It's just so fun. I love it so much. And Dior has really, really stepped up their game. Their eyeshadow quality is remarkable. It's so easy to use, so pigmented, so buttery, just fabulous, wonderful. I hope they just keep coming out with more and more new colors, because I can't get enough. Speaking of Dior, we have Plum Tulle, which is just, again, a beautiful springtime palette. For me, this is a springtime eyeshadow look. We have the more dark, plummy colors. We have like one that's more violet, one that's more, well, we have matte and shimmer here, of course, but you do get the more dark classic purple colors, and then you get a nice variety of lighter colors. This is like a nice stark white. You get one that's like more of a silver, hint of lilac, more neutral, more shimmery, and you kind of just get a little bit of variety. There's no pink in here, but you can lighten up some of the purples just to get a nice light look. I think Plum Tulle is a really great color. If you like purples, I think you will love Plum Tulle. And then last but not least, from Dior, we have Soft Cashmere. You guys, this is a beautiful, neutral, cool leaning palette. Now there is this one over here that's a matte, more warm chocolate brown. The rest sort of lean more cool. You can do a nice slightly silvery, cool, neutral look. It's really just if you like more neutral eyeshadows, you will have never-ending inspiration and fun with soft cashmere. It's beautiful. I love the mixture of like the mattes, and then we have the more buttery shimmer colors, some softer ones. There's really just everything for anyone here. If you like a neutral palette, you will love this one. Okay, moving on to our last category of eyeshadow. This is Tom Ford Suspicion. This is the perfect warm-toned palette. If you want that JLo glow eyeshadow look, you know what I mean. That beautiful, warm, beach goddess eyeshadow look, this is the palette. You get a variety of darker up here. You could do something more smoky. You get just like the most beautiful golds and yellow and bronze and lighter champagne. They are all more shimmery and satiny, but they don't look too much. It's not a chunky glitter. Anytime I wear this on my channel, I get tons and tons of comments. If you're looking for the quintessential warm-toned JLo eyeshadow look, get Suspicion. You will not be disappointed. Now, last but not least in our eyeshadow category, we have Nude Dip. This is what I'm wearing today. This is a nice cousin of Suspicion, but it's more neutral, a little bit more cool leaning. I wore this silvery taupe with this brown here. That's all I'm wearing on my eyes today with a little bit of liner and mascara. But this is the look you can create. You could go in lighter, you could go in darker. If you just want something that's very versatile and just maybe a bit more subtle, because I think the Suspicion palette is beautiful, but it's definitely very warm. If you want a bit more variety, because you will get a little hint of warm here with this slightly yellow leaning champagne, and this is like a rose gold, but if you focus on this here, you get a nice neutral, cool look. It's beautiful. Nude Dip. And that is our eyeshadow category. I'm gonna take a break and be right back. All right, moving on to eyeliners and mascaras. This is pretty short here. So one item for me is Victoria Beckham. I love these liners. This was also a new discovery for me. These are amazing. These are the Satin Kajal eyeliners. This is the shade Ash. What's remarkable about this is how incredibly creamy, buttery, smooth these are to apply. And then you have the little sponge tip applicator that just makes buffing and blending so easy. I think all cream liners should have a little sponge tip applicator. They're just amazing. And then my ride or die, my tried and true eyeliner is always the waterproof liner from Chanel. This is number 88. It's an intense black liner. I buy so many of these every year because sometimes you just need a black waterproof liner to go on the top waterline. They never transfer, they never smudge, they just stay in place. That's why it's my favorite. And then a new discovery for me is from Givenchy. I feel like a lot of people don't realize that Givenchy eyeliners are amazing. This shade in particular is called Jade. It is the most beautiful, flashy green. Now, we talked a lot about blue eyeshadow and flashy blue looks, but green is beautiful. It's so flattering on brown eyes, and it's jade. It's not like a dark forest green. It's not like a dark smoky green. It's jade. It's bright like the jewel, and it's so beautiful. I love this in the summer just to wrap it around my whole eye with like a champagne shadow. It's a beautiful look. For mascaras, it's also quite simple. There are two mascaras that I keep repurchasing time after time. I have other mascaras that I've purchased, but these are the ones that I have repurchased the most. The first one is Chanel, the Volume de Chanel. It's a classic for a reason. I always go with black. I like the classic version of the Volume because there are other versions, but the classic one is the best. And then the Chantecaille Fossil Longest Lash Mascara. If you want fake lash effect with mascara, these are the two mascaras you need to try. Okay, let's move on to foundations. Now, I have several here. That's not that shocking. The first one here, I think, is probably my overall ultimate favorite foundation, which might be a little bit surprising, but this is the Chanel Sublimage l'Essence de Teint. This is the shade B30. So the reason it's probably my top favorite, even though I have a lot of favorites here, this is the clear winner. I love the consistency. It's a serum foundation, so it's very runny and liquidy. And it starts at more of a medium coverage, which I usually prefer a lighter coverage. But this is one pump here today, just one pump. You get a beautiful, soft, velvety finish. I'm getting a bit shiny here because I've been filming for a few hours. But it's really natural. It's still quite lightweight, but you get a nice, decent amount of coverage. I just think it's such a beautiful foundation. I think Chanel, when it comes to complexion, really just knocks it out of the park. So I have one here that has always been my favorite and continues to be my favorite, but recently I've just been liking a bit more of fuller coverage. But the Water Fresh tint is super lightweight and super sheer, and this is, I think, my third bottle that I've purchased, so it's always a favorite. It can be a nice base as a primer. You can use this as a boost of hydration. It kind of just blurs your imperfections, but it's very sheer and lightweight. It's always a favorite. It's always going to be in my top rotation. Now, a new one here that I was a little bit surprised by is from Chantecaille. This is the Future Skin Cushion, and I use the shade called Nude. For the Water Fresh tint, I use medium. Now, this is my introduction, I guess, to cushion foundations. I've tried other ones before, but this one here I love so much. I love the regular Future Skin from Chantecaille, but this one here offers such a beautiful coverage. And what's nice is when you buy the compact, you get a refill in the same box. So before you toss out the box, collect the refill underneath. And the cushion here, it offers a beautiful, soft, natural finish, but it offers a nice coverage as well. It covers a lot more than the regular Future Skin Gel foundation. It covers a lot more, but it still leaves your skin so beautiful and natural looking. I think it's a great cushion compact. I'm sort of bouncing back here to Chanel. So one item here that was an oldie but a goodie and sort of a rediscovery for me was the Vita Lumière Aqua. I'd had this years ago, and this is just like an ultra lightweight skin perfecting makeup. That's what it's called. That's what it does. It's very light, very sheer, very, very breathable. Your Skin But Better. I think it's perfect for summer. If you want something lightweight, it's not heavy, it's going to blur some imperfections, but just look like your skin, Vita Lumière Aqua is for you. And then of course, the Ultra Le Teint is also something that I can't really get enough of. This is also from Chanel. This is the new formula, the new version. It's more coverage, like it offers more coverage than the Ultra, or what did I mention? It offers more coverage than the Vita Lumière Aqua. It's similar-ish to the Sublimage Essence de Teint, but I think that this finish here is a bit more soft. Like it's a bit more of a soft velvet finish from the Sublimage. This one here is also really beautiful, but the Sublimage is my top favorite. Back to Chantecaille. This is the Tinted Moisturizer Just Skin. I use the shade called Glow. This has an SPF of 15. It's really not very much. It's just kind of there. But if you just want a tinted moisturizer, super sheer, lightweight, just to sort of even out imperfections on the go, like if you're, it's great for summer if you do lots of outside sports, you kind of want to correct a little bit but not have anything too cakey. It's really ultra light, Your Skin But Better, and just like a little bit enhanced. That's why it's here. And then we also have something from NARS, which is in the same vein as the tinted moisturizer from Just Skin, and also the Vita Lumière Aqua. This is the NARS Pure Tinted Moisturizer, and I have the shade Mykonos. This is a tinted moisturizer. It does hydrate a little bit. It gives you a little bit of a natural glow, but it's in that Your Skin But Better. You still see some imperfections. Your skin looks normal and your skin can breathe. It's just a really nice tinted moisturizer. Now back to more medium coverage. We have the Givenchy Prisme Libre Skin Caring Foundation. I have the shade 4N280. This is a very fluid, runny foundation, and it gives you more medium coverage. It's a bit more buildable, but it always gives you that very natural your skin. Like you will definitely see little imperfections here and there. I like that. I don't want like full coverage all the time. This one is also really, really beautiful from Givenchy. And last but not least, which is a later addition to the year, from Clé de Peau. I don't know why I decided to keep it in the box, but I did. This is the Radiant Cream Foundation. Now this is the only full coverage foundation here. I don't usually go for full coverage, but this one here is a cream texture, so it's much thicker than the rest here, and it also offers more coverage. I would say it's the most moisturizing and hydrating foundation. This is not for oily skin. If you have dry skin, dehydrated skin, mature skin, if you want a foundation for winter, if you live in a climate that's very dry and like you have harsh winds, this is a moisturizing, cocooning foundation. It's great, but it is a bit thicker and higher coverage. But you know, for those winter months, this is a great foundation for that. Now, for concealers, this is pretty short and sweet. The first one here is from Chanel. This is the corrector number 20. This is part of the reformulation. I love the reformulation because the shades are better in my opinion. There's more variety, it's more inclusive, and the number 20 now has a little bit of a peach cut. That's what I'm wearing today. And I just find that it corrects and cuts that blue dark tone you might have in your under eyes. So this corrector here from Chanel is my favorite. And then of course, always the Clé de Peau concealer, the shade Almond. This is my absolute favorite, my ride or die concealer. I almost said foundation, but it is my favorite concealer. If I could only pick one for the rest of the time, it would be Clé de Peau. Okay, moving on to face powders. This is quite concise. I don't have a huge collection of face powders, but I have here the Guerlain Meteorite Compact in number 2. I also have the pearls, but I have to say that the compact I think is a little bit more my favorite. The pearls are beautiful. It's a decadent ornament to have on your vanity, but I think just seeing the colors laid out perfectly like this and just having it as a compact is just so lovely. I love it. It's more of like a light enhancer. It gives you a beautiful luminous finish. I love this. This is a classic for a reason. If you haven't tried the Meteorite Pearls yet, I am here to let you know that the fuss you're hearing, it's definitely worth it. They are fabulous. Moving on to something from Gucci. This is the Natural Matte Face Powder. I am in the shade number 4. Now, do not be scared off with the Natural Matte name, because it's really not drying. It's a beautiful face powder. It doesn't look cakey. It doesn't settle into fine lines and wrinkles. It's just a little bit more of like a soft velvety matte, so it won't give you as much glow as perhaps like the Meteorite Pearls. Also, it has a little bit of a floral scent, and the compact from Gucci is exquisite. It's extra, it's lovely. We also have here the Prisme Libre Loose Powder from Givenchy. So this here is a special package. I think it was from a Lunar New Year collection or something like that, but it comes in several different packages. I think they always have a new collection for every year, but essentially the powder stays the same. Sometimes the cap is different. This is similar in nature to the Guerlain Meteorite Pearls, although I think that these are also very light reflective. It might be like a little hint less luminous and glowy, but as you can see, there's like 4 different colors here, and when you mix them together, it just gives you a beautiful complexion. It's really lovely. Maybe it's just a question of, do you prefer a compact versus a loose powder? But I heard through the grapevine that Givenchy will be coming out with a pressed version of these loose powders in the near future, so for the new year of 2022. Now, I can't believe this, but I almost forgot to include 2 face powders here that are really near and dear to me. The first one here is from Dior, and this is the Backstage Powder No Powder. I have the shade 3N. If you have dry, dehydrated, mature skin, or if you want a powder for winter, this is it here. If you have oily skin, you're not going to love it because it's not going to be very mattifying, but it almost gives you more of a skin blurring effect. And the Backstage Powder No Powder collection also has a lot of different shades, so it's very inclusive for any skin tone. It is so beautiful. I bought it in the summer. As you can see, it's so well loved. It's just such a beautiful powder to end your makeup on. It blurs without drying, without looking cakey, without settling into anywhere. It's a great powder. And then of course the Chantecaille Perfect Blur Powder. This is the packaging for the spring release. This came out as limited edition, but now it's permanent, and this is the light to medium shade. It is very similar to the Dior Backstage Powder No Powder, although I think the Dior one is more of like a gel water powder infusion, and this is more of like a beautiful blurring finishing powder, and it also has less shades available, so it really depends what you want. I think this is really beautiful if you just want like a blurring powder just as like a last step for your makeup. It's absolutely beautiful. A lot of you have this at home and love it as well, so I don't need to convince you. Okay, so next up are face palettes, and I think 2021 for me was the year of face palettes, because for years I would say no thank you, I don't want a face palette, it's too much. Then I finally started to dip my toe in it, and like I totally get it. I get the hype. I get why you buy them. This is from By Terry, and this is the Brightening CC palette in Beach Balm. I'm wearing the Peachy Cool Tone blush today. I bought this in the spring. It has a little bit of a rosy scent that a lot of By Terry products have. Listen, it's gorgeous. You get a nice coral peach blush, a nice rosy pink blush, you get a highlighter, and this one is sort of a highlighter, sort of a bronzer. It's sort of in between, but what's nice is you can do your full face with this. You can do eyes, you can do cheeks, you can sort of do a little bit of everything, and the colors themselves are so beautiful. It's called Beach Balm. It gives me like Bahamas beach inspiration. It's beautiful. I totally get it. I know that By Terry comes out with these brightening CC palettes on a regular basis, so I get it. I get why you like them. Moving on to Charlotte Tilbury. I was also influenced into buying Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Instant Look of Love in a palette, Pretty Blushed Beauty. So this is a very comprehensive face palette. You really get eyes, cheeks, bronzer, highlighter, blush, all of that in one. I really like this palette. Some of the shades, like the highlighter for me, is maybe not the perfect color, but there's just so much variety. You know, you could use this as an eyeshadow or as a bronzer and vice versa. You really could do anything you wanted to. And I just like the idea of having a palette and being able to do everything that I need with it. Now, next up in the face palette category is from NARS, and this is the Orgasm on the Beach palette. Now, this is strictly a cheek palette. It's more blush and highlighter. We have this one here that tries to be a bronzer, but it's really not on my skin tone. But again, you could do eyeshadow, blush, and highlighter with this. The quality here is amazing, like we mentioned before with NARS. The application, the blendability, the way that it works with itself and also with other products, it's beautiful. I just love the colors. I love the palette itself. I think it looks really beautiful. And then when you wear it, it just looks so nice. So I totally get it. I know that NARS comes out with these cheek palettes on a regular basis, so I get what the fuss is about. Okay, moving on to some bronzers. This is quite concise here. The first one here is from Gucci Beauty. This is the number 3 Éclat Soleil. So it just means like, I don't know, sunburst of sun or something. This is beautiful. Again, we have a little bit of the light floral scent. We have the amazing retro deco compact here. And overall, it's just a really great bronzer. Gucci Beauty has come out of the gate with just phenomenal makeup products, and I am here to attest to that they are amazing. This is beautiful. It's never too orange. It's not dry. It's not flaky or patchy. Just a great bronzer. Speaking of, we also have one here from Chantecaille. This is the Real Bronze in Serena. Now, this texture here is really interesting. It's almost more like a squishy gel formula. It's quite something. And again, here you get a formula that's not too orange. You can build it up. You do have different colors also. Same goes with Gucci. But what I like here is this like gel infusion. It almost feels like creamy and maybe a bit more natural than the powder from Gucci, but you know, a lot of you have these at home, so I'm certain you have your own opinions as well. And then the last item here is from Dior. This is the Dior Forever Natural Bronze in number 5, Warm Bronze. This came out in the summer of this year. I love the package so much. I love the compact. It's like a squishy plastic / leather. And then the bronzer in here itself is just really beautiful. The powder is very blendable, very easy to apply, very easy to wear. Again, not a drop of orange, which is like, why would anyone want to look orange? We want to look healthy and radiant. All right, moving on, we have our highlighter and blush section. Let's start with blush first. So first off, for me, the favorites of the year were from Givenchy Beauty. They came out with their Prisme Libre blushes. So before we saw the powder, like 4 individual powders blended together to create a beautiful face powder, they came out with these for blushes. So 4 individual colors just beautifully coexisting together. I have a couple shades. I have number 5, Poplin Violin, and number 3, Voile Corail. So number 5 is more of like a classic cool tone rosy cheek, and number 3 is more of a peachy coral. Now, the problem is these only came out in the UK and Europe. They did not come out in North America yet. Hopefully that changes in 2022, but I'm not certain. However, you can shop through John Lewis and Harrods if you want to get them. Personally, I think that they're amazing. I wish that they were more readily available for North America because I really think you would love these so much. Now, sticking to the theme of like pink and then coral, we also have the Dior Backstage Rosy Glow blushes. At first, I wasn't really into them. I don't know, I swatched them on the back of my hand and they weren't amazing, but they're really beautiful on the cheeks. So we have 001 pink and then 004 coral. Are you more of a coral peachy girl or more of a pink? Sometimes, do you know what I do? I mix them together. I swirl a little bit of each on each cheek, and it gives you just like a perfect blend of just a little bit of pink, a little bit of peach. Now here is an item that I have talked a lot about on my channel recently. This is from Laura Mercier. This is the Matte Blush in Chai. This is a product that when you look at it in the pan, it doesn't look very exciting, but when you wear it, it looks beautiful. It's just like the most natural flush. It looks like your cheek, but better. That's exactly what this looks like. So if you like natural, your cheek, but better, Chai from Laura Mercier is for you. Sort of in that same vein is something from Victoria Beckham. She came out with the cheeky blush sticks. These are cream blush sticks, so they're very natural. They sort of like seamlessly blend into the skin. And there's a shade here called Playground that really is your cheek but better in a neutral kind of almost like hits a blush and a bronzer, the perfect marriage between the two, and it just creates a beautiful flush. It's creamy, it's very easy to blend. This one is one of my top favorites of the year. Now we have another cream product here from Clé de Peau. This is from their holiday collection. I don't know if it's sold out in all the places. I hope it's still available because it's just great. This is called Joyful in Pink, but overall I've just heard that their cream blushes are amazing. This shade in particular is great, but the texture, again, just like so seamless, so creamy, so easy to blend. I think this is one of like my favorite cream blush formulas that I've tried. It's just so easy to use and looks so natural and seamless. I heard a lot of hype about the formula, so I totally get it. Now I have an item here that I wasn't sure if I should mention or not because I think it's sold out. It was limited edition. This is the Chanel Fleur de Printemps Duo. So the one from the spring of like the previous year. It is a combination of a beautiful peachy coral blush and highlighter. As you can see, I just take my brush and swirl it around and apply. It's beautiful. I think maybe it's still available for sale on the website. If it's still there, totally get it. It's a beautiful blush. I've seen some sneak peek photos of the Chanel spring release for 2022, and I'm hoping there's a blush in there that will be similar to this one here. Now the next two from Chanel are just very classic. They're going to be easy to find. The first one here is Elegance. This is your cheek but better. It met like a blush, met a bronzer, and then had Elegance. It looks natural and easy. It looks beautiful. It has a little bit of luminosity, not a chunky glitter, but just like a beautiful glow. So if you like very easy natural makeup, Chanel Elegance is for you. And then we also have this one here from Chanel called number 64, Pink Explosion. I mean, the name is pretty descriptive, isn't it? It's a pink explosion. It's beautiful. Gives you a flush of pink, a beautiful flushed pinky look. It's gorgeous. And then I have another item here that I'm going to mention, but don't get mad. I don't think it's available anymore. This is from Guerlain, and these are the Blush Meteorite Pearls. This came out in the spring. Again, I had to like shop through Harrods or Selfridges or John Lewis. I couldn't find them here in North America, but these are the Meteorite Pearls from Guerlain, but as a blush. If anyone from Guerlain is watching, please, please, please bring these back, and please have a whole selection of Meteorite Pearl blushes. Oh, they're gorgeous. They have the signature powdery floral scent, and it gives you like a beautiful pinkish red, like a gorgeous little pinky flush. They look amazing in the canister. They look amazing on the skin. I don't know why these are not permanent. Let's start a petition. All right, let's move on to highlighters. The first one here is from Chanel, and this is part of their holiday release this year. This is their Baume stick, so stick highlighter here in this shade called Or or Gold. It's beautiful because it does give you a little bit of warm yellow gold highlighter, but it's not too gold, it's not too dark, and it's a nice balm texture, so it looks almost like your skin has that glass-like finish. I like to layer this underneath my foundation just for more of like a natural luminous glow. And on that same vein, I do the same thing with this Baume Shine Universal Highlighter from Violette FR, her makeup line. This is just like a creamy, balmy highlighter stick. So I will go underneath the foundation, and then I will put my foundation over top. It just looks natural and glass-like. Next up from Chantecaille, we have their holiday collection, and this is the Perle Lumière Pearl Light highlighter here. It looks so beautiful, and it's very natural. Like if you want something more subtle, more easy to use, this highlighter here is definitely for you. Now, what I'm wearing today is from Givenchy. This is part of their holiday collection as well. This is the Prisme Libre highlighter in number 10. So again, you get a beautiful mixture of 4 different shades of highlighter mixed together. So when you swirl your brush in, you just get a beautiful hint of gold on your cheek. I love this one. Now moving on to Clé de Peau, we have the Luminizing Face Powder in 102 A Glow, A Wonder. This is from their holiday collection here. I heard so many good things about it, and yeah, I get the hype. These face illuminating powders are part of their permanent collection. This shade in particular is part of like a limited holiday release, but I've just seen this pattern a lot before. They're gorgeous. It's just like a really beautiful luminous highlighter. The name is confusing because it's called like Face Illuminator, Face Enhancer. I would not recommend it as a face powder because you're going to look very shiny, but as a highlighter, it is gorgeous. Of course, we have the Guerlain highlighter pearls. These are the Meteorite Gold pearls from the holiday release. These also have more of a gold finish like the Givenchy ones, but this is different because these are the Meteorite pearls. It's a bit more extra, a bit more decadent, so you have to swirl your brush in to get the beautiful gold finish. I mean, if you love Guerlain, if you like the Meteorite pearls, you will certainly love these highlighting pearls. And then the last one here is another liquid highlighter, and this is from Lisa Eldridge. This is the Cosmic Rose. So what I do with this one as well is I will go in first with this here with the giant wand. I will apply it to the top points of my cheeks, and then afterwards I will go in with my foundation just to give a very natural, luminous, lit from within glow. Also, this one here has so much product. I don't know if I'll ever use it all up, but it's a great natural liquid highlighter. All right, let's move on. I just took a break for lunch, but we're back at it. So now we have the lips category. So first up is lip liners. Now, I'm not a huge lip liner person, so there's only 2 that I gravitate towards the most, and these are both from Chanel. The first one is 172 Bois de Rose. It's like a nice dusty rose. And then we have number 156 Beige Naturel, which is like your lip but better, and a very nudie natural lip. I guess I only want lip liners when I have more nudie natural lip looks. Now let's go ahead and start off with what I'm wearing today. The first one is the Chanel Rouge Allure Ink Fusion in pink brown. That is the more matte liquid lipstick that I've been wearing all day. This is just like the most beautiful dusty rosewood pink brown. It's like Your Lip but better. And I love the Rouge Allure Ink Fusion formula. It's liquid, but it's not too drying. It's really fabulous. And then over top after lunch, I applied a little bit of the Dior Lip Glow Oil in Mahogany. This is beautiful. When you see it in the tube, it looks really intense, like a brown, but as you can see, it's very natural. You can wear this on nude lips for like Your Lip but better. But I love the Lip Glow Oil formula. It's very nourishing, very hydrating. It's very different than the Lip Maximizers, which is also here. The Lip Maximizer, this is the shade 001, just like the classic shade. This is going to enhance your natural lip. This one has a plumping mechanism that has like a tingling oil sensation. The Lip Glow Oil does not. So I like both of these. I've gone through so many of these, especially this year. I love it so much. It just kind of depends what my mood is. I always have to mention my all-time favorite lip color. Like if I could only have one lipstick, I would go with this one here. This is from Chanel. This is the Rouge Coco in number 440 Arthur. It is the best warm-toned orangey red lipstick in the summer with a tan. This lipstick with the Tom Ford Suspicion palette, it is so beautiful. So I bought a backup of this recently because if ever they discontinue this, I would be heartbroken. And then moving on to a couple more glossy formulas from Chanel. We have the Rouge Coco Flash in the classic 82 Live or Live. It is my go-to nude lip. It's a little bit neutral, a little bit pinky brown. It's very glossy, very comfortable to wear. And we also have the Rouge Coco Bloom, which is also glossy but more buttery. It's not as slick as the Flash formula and lasts on the lips a bit longer. It stains a bit more. This is number 116 Dream. It's kind of like my neutral nude lip. If I can't really decide what to wear, I just throw this on and it always looks nice. And then the last one here from Chanel is the Le Rouge Duo Ultra Tenu. This here is a liquid lipstick. So on the top you have the lip pigment and then here you have a clear lip gloss. Again, it's that Your Lip but better neutral nude and I love this one. It's very long wearing. It's a bit more drying than like a glossy buttery lip, of course, but it's very long wearing. And okay, this is truly the last Chanel lip product here. I forgot about this one. It's a gloss and it's called Bitter Orange. If you like Arthur, if you like a nice warm red, this is gorgeous. And the gloss is very opaque. It's very pigmented. So you don't have to swipe too much to get the color payoff. It's absolutely gorgeous. I love this one so much. Now let's move on to a different brand. Here we have Sisley. I kept the little red sleeve that it came in. And these are just the Sisley lipsticks. This is number 40 Monaco. This is gorgeous. Not only is the tube itself just this Art Deco rectangular shape, but the color is that warm orangey red that's so flattering, so beautiful. I love it so much. And this lipstick is so opaque. It's so long wearing as well. It survives through eating and drinking. So it's just a really great lipstick and the packaging looks amazing. Now we have a couple here from Dior. I guess we mentioned the lip treatments first. So up here is from the holiday release. So all of these lipstick tubes are refillable. You can buy the refills, but sometimes the case is just like a little extra special. And this one here is called Winter Poppy. This is a velvet formula. It is super long wearing. It's more matte. So it's like a matte bullet velvet lipstick. It's so comfortable, not drying, very, very long wearing. And the red is like this bright raspberry color. It's so flattering. I love it so much. And the tube itself looks like the front of the Dior workshop in Paris. So extra, love that. Next up is another one in the velvet formula. This is number 720 Icon or Icon. It is so beautiful. Again, the finish is long wearing, comfortable, long lasting, and this shade is just so special and so flattering. And you see this beautiful Christian Dior ribbon wrapped around the tube of the lipstick. I mean, if you like luxury makeup, you love this type of extra packaging. And last but not least is an interesting discovery I made this year. So this is more of a metallic shine finish, and this is called Lady Dior, named after the bag. Now, this is a beautiful purpley fuchsia pink lipstick, and the metallic finish don't be scared. It's not like a gritty, grainy, metallic finish. It's more like a satiny, shiny finish. And it's just such a fun, interesting shade. I think if you have a darker complexion, this would look really flattering on you. But it's also just like a super fun fuchsia purple color. Sometimes you just need to lean into more fun colors. Now we have something here from Givenchy. I love Givenchy lipsticks, and they came out with the most beautiful Le Rouge G sheer velvet formula. This is gorgeous. Now this one here is number 16. I think it's called like Nude Boisé, so like a nudie rosewood, and it really is your lip but better. The sheer velvet formula is so lightweight, so comfortable, also very long wearing. It's an exquisite formula if you want more of a matte velvet finish but want something very comfortable, not drying. Try the sheer velvet. Oh, they're so wonderful. Next up, we have a couple shades here from Chantecaille. The first one is the Lip Chic in Capucine. As is stated earlier, I am definitely partial to a warm orangey red, and the Lip Chic formula, it's a nice buttery hydrating lipstick. So if you don't have a chapstick, you can keep reapplying the lipstick and it'll hydrate your lips. And then I have another shade here that I've really loved. Also in the Lip Chic category, this is Damask. Definitely a different vibe, but like a beautiful berry plummy lip, and your lips look hydrated and glossy, and it's just so comfortable to wear. Last but not least, I have something here from Guerlain, and I have to say that the cases from the fall release this year are my favorite. I think some of them are still available online. If you have access to them, the cases for the fall collection, exquisite. Now again, Guerlain has a bullet velvet formula for a lipstick. This formula is outstanding. It is so long wearing. Like if you eat and drink, and you can wear this lipstick for several hours and it looks practically the same. They've somehow captured the longevity of a liquid lipstick, but in a bullet format. So it's more comfortable, it's not as drying. This shade in particular is number 910, which is like a chocolatey red, like a rich brown. It's a great, slightly vampy color. And again, the longevity is what outstanded me the most. I am definitely going to try to get more nudie, pinky, just like a variety of the Le Rouge G velvet lipsticks, because the formula is amazing. It's like the best part of a liquid lipstick, but in a bullet. Okay, so I do have to mention one last thing here. I have the Clé de Peau mini set for the holidays, but there's one shade in the whole pack that blew me away, which is funny because at first I didn't love it, but now I do. It's called Beguiling Brick, and it's a satin formula, and it's like a nice vampy shade. It's dark, not too dark. It's just very flattering for like colder winter months. It was great for a spooky season, for the holidays, all that. I love this one. I'm really surprised by how much I love it, because at first I was like, I don't know. But everyone who was watching the video was like, no, it looks great on you. And then I just kept wearing it and I'm like, okay, I get it. Okay, so I have a couple of makeup brushes I want to mention, and then we're going to move on to skincare, perfume, and hair. So there are 4 face brushes here that I absolutely love. And this one here is the Sephora Pro Concealer Brush number 57. I've owned this for several years. This is my concealer brush. It is amazing. It diffuses your concealer very quickly. It doesn't look streaky. It doesn't look patchy. It just blends it out very quickly. Cream, liquid concealer, it doesn't really matter what it is. This is my all-time favorite concealer brush. This is probably one of my all-time favorite makeup brushes ever. Okay, moving on to a rougher brush number 31 for face. This is amazing for any type of a foundation, liquid, cream foundation. You can just buff and blend your makeup really quickly. I like how dense the bristles are, and also it's at an angle. So if you want to get around like different corners of your face, you can do it really quickly. But I just find that it diffuses my foundation quickly and then makes the blending faster. Now, next up from Refer is the number 24. This is the brush for blush lovers. It's just the perfect shape. I do like angled brushes too sometimes for blush, but I just find that this is just a nice dense, compact collection of bristles here, and it's not too wide. So you're not going to sweep blush where you don't need it to. You're just going to be able to precisely apply it. It's lovely. And then moving on, I have here the BK Beauty 108 brush. This is like a tapered powder brush. You could use this for setting powder if you want to set your under eye, but I like to use it for highlighter. I just find that it's just like the perfect little shape. And then last but not least, I think this is also one of my favorite makeup brushes ever. Also from the BK Beauty, it's number 207. So this is technically like sort of a pencil brush. It's for buffing, but I love to do this for my eyeshadow, my liquid eyeshadows, my cream shadows, even powder shadows. The bristles are so short and so dense, you can just buff out the shade easily, but you can also blend it out in the crease, and then you can use it to trace under the lashes for eyeliner. So if you just want like a really simple one and done, I would recommend the BK Beauty 207. It just does everything for you. All right, let's move on to skincare. First up here is a relatively new discovery for me. This is from Clé de Peau. It's called the serum. So I haven't used this up completely. I'm going to do a full review once I finish the serum, but so far it's been several weeks. I love this. It's like a game changer. It makes your skin so soft, so smooth. And what it does is it just helps prepare your skin to absorb the rest of your active ingredients. It's phenomenal. It's one of those items that has a cult status following, and I totally get it. Next up are items from Chantecaille that I talk about a lot, but that's because they're amazing. The first one here is the Hibiscus Smoothing Mask. This is an exfoliator. So you're going to do a thin layer of this on your face, neck, and décolleté. You're gonna wait 10 minutes, you're gonna wash it off. As this sits on your skin, it eats the dead skin cells, the debris of makeup, of pollution, all that, and it leaves your skin fresh and clean without stripping it, without exfoliating or over exfoliating, I should say. You know, I think it is my all-time favorite exfoliator. It's just wonderful. It's so good for your skin. I highly encourage you to try it. I think this is the item that I tried from Chantecaille. This is the first item that I tried from Chantecaille. This is how I got in. I tried this and I was like, wow, their skincare is amazing. And speaking of amazing skincare, we also have the new Bio Lifting Mask Plus. So this is an ultra, somehow lightweight, but also hydrating and brightening mask. I wear this like a thin layer at night, but you can also wear a thin layer of this during the daytime. It's nourishing, it's hydrating, and also gives you like a brightening element. And it's just a great mask. I find it has like a nice cocooning effect. And if you live in colder, harsher climates, and you want to wear a nice skincare mask that's going to hydrate and help smooth out your skin and brighten and all that, you can wear this in the daytime, just like a thin layer, and you can do a full face of makeup. I'm wearing a full face of makeup right now with this mask underneath. It doesn't interfere with your makeup, it doesn't break it down, so it's really great if you have like dry skin, dehydrated, mature skin, or even if you just live in a harsher winter climate. This is a really good winter skincare essential. Moving on is something from Paula's Choice. So I've been dipping my toe into the retinol pool, but I've tried many different retinols. I've hated all of them except for this one from Paula's Choice. This is the Intensive Wrinkle Repair Retinol Serum. The reason I say that I've hated all the other retinols is because they've been drying, they've caused acne, they've caused redness. This does not do any of those. I find that it's a retinol without being harsh, without causing redness, without causing breakouts, without drying out my skin. It's just really great, and since it's so easy to use, I'm more likely to use it. Now, last up in the skincare category, this is the Guerlain Youth Watery Oil. If you like a face oil, or if you would like to try a face oil, but you're a bit turned off by the term oil and you're scared it'll be too slick and too greasy, try this one here. It is the most lightweight and watery oil I've ever tried in my life. It's brightening, it's hydrating, it just gives you a beautiful luminous glow. A lot of you comment on my skin and how it looks. These are the items that I use. This is what I do to achieve this luminous look day after day. Okay, moving on to perfume. I have to say that the Chanel Mademoiselle Eau de Toilette Twist is one of my favorite discoveries this year. It's super easy for travel. You get refills when you purchase it. It smells like Mademoiselle. It smells like mandarin oranges. like woody notes, a hint of patchouli. It's just like a light, fresh, girly fragrance that I love. Moving on to Guerlain. This is Mon Guerlain, which is definitely heavier. We get lots of vanilla, tonka bean, hints of bourbon maybe. It's just like a very sweet, heavier fragrance, great for winter months. Like if you like the heavy hitter fragrances, but like not too heavy. I mean, if you like Lancôme La Vie est Belle, this is something you would like. Or maybe the Dior Addict Eau de Parfum. This is that type of fragrance. It's also really beautiful. I love the scent. You get so much vanilla, some sweetness. Without it being too sweet, you also get some florals. It's just a wonderful fragrance. Moving on to Givenchy, we have L'Interdit. Now, there have been countless versions or new versions of L'Interdit. This one here is the red edition. They added some ginger in here, which gives it a slightly fresher note. The ginger sort of elevates it and makes it a bit fresher, a bit lighter, but you still get the classic Interdit DNA. If you like L'Interdit, I think you'd really like the red version. And then last up for fragrances, I have a perfume line that I discovered here called Victoria Minia. And what I love is that it's a niche fragrance line, but they sell their samples. I believe they sell samples of every single perfume they make. Don't quote me on that, but there are a couple, I think at least 3 or 4 different sample bundles you can buy. So you can discover the fragrance without purchasing it, blind, because it's really hard to just buy a fragrance online and see what you like. These fragrances are complex, they're rich, they're buttery, they hit some gourmand notes, they give me some vanilla. There's also ones with violet, there's ones with more powdery notes. There's really just a great variety, and this pack here came with 5 different samples. There's other ones with like more samples and less samples, so if you just want to give yourself a little treat, Victoria Minia is great. Okay, the last category is hair. I get so many questions about my hair. The curls are genetic. This is a combination of French Canadian and North African. I have naturally curly hair, but it's very fine, very thin. So there are certain brands that I go towards time after time. I look for products that are going to be hydrating and lightweight. I don't look for moisturizing per se, because those tend to be a bit too heavy duty. I can't do like deep conditioning masks that just like weighs my hair down completely. So brands that I love are Moroccan Oil, Amika, AG Hair Care, Christophe Robin, and Ouidad. Those are all brands that I gravitate towards. So from Christophe Robin, I will often use their volumizing shampoo and conditioner because I do have like thinner hair at the root. So I tend to prefer the volumizing shampoo. I just like really massage it at the scalp, and that just sort of helps lifts the hair a little bit. So I have the volumizing shampoo and conditioner. I think the shampoo is my favorite. Now, moving on to AG Hair Care. They have a lot of curly hair friendly products. They have curl activators, curl refreshers. This is the Curl Fresh shampoo and conditioner. So again, it's just to encourage the hair without weighing it down. I have both the shampoo and conditioner. They're both great. Now, from Moroccan Oil, I've also tried the shampoo and conditioner for curly hair. I don't have them here, but I have tried them and I like them. I do use their hydrating mask. I don't do like deep moisture. I look for hydration, which is lighter. So I tend to use a Moroccan Oil hydration mask, like, I don't know, once or twice a month. Now, as far as styling creams go, I'm very particular. So when I wash my hair, I use the AG Hair Care Recoil. This helps the hair recoil into shape. So I do use like 5 or 6 pumps of this into my wet hair, and this is what helps activate the curl. Now, I only wash my hair once a week, so on other days that I have to style my hair without washing it, I use something called a curl reviver, curl refresher. If you have curly hair or wavy hair and you do not use a curl refresher, it will change your life. This is from Ouidad. I think this is my favorite curl refresher I've ever tried. It's the Curl Shaper Bounce Back Reactivating Mist. So you're going to spray this all over your hair. You can do sections like this, and then you're going to put your styling cream over top of that. I use a different styling cream on no wash days. I like to go in with the Moroccan Oil Curl Defining Cream. This is less heavy Then the recoil. The recoil you can use to refresh your hair, but it's just a bit heavy, so I like to go with something a bit more lightweight. This one here from Moroccan is great. Now, my second best hair refresher is from Amika, and this is the Power Hour Curl Refreshing Spray. It's really just the same principle. You're going to wet your hair all over, and then you're going to go in with a styling cream. Now, the Moroccan Curl Defining Cream is my favorite for no wash days. However, I do have other options that I also like. I have the AG Hair Care Curl Fresh Definer and the Amika Defining Cream. Both of these are going to redefine your curls and help give you that definition and get rid of some of the frizz and just enhance the curl. Okay, I think I am done with my best luxury products of 2021. My goodness, I've been filming for like 4 hours now. If I look wilted, it's because I am. I haven't filmed the B-roll yet. The B-roll is like where I overlay the product, that sort of thing. So if you would kindly make sure you're subscribed, like the video, leave a comment, that would be super chill and super nice of you, because this took a lot out of me. But I really like this because I like looking back at the whole year and seeing what were my favorites, what stood out to me. It's a lot of fun. I do monthly favorites, but for December, I do like end of year. What was the best of the year? So let me know in the comments, what were your favorites of the year? What were the best of the best for you? I hope you enjoyed the different categories and timestamps, because I know not everyone wants to know what my curly hair routine is, but some people really do. So I thought the timestamps would be really helpful. I think this is it for the video. I certainly hope so. I mean, I still have a lot more to film and edit. So maybe send me some coffee. That would be really, really cool and really appreciated. But anyway, thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.